The other day, Fat Ass 45 held a Klan rally in Nevada, and basically, all it was that he was that it was exercising it, and was just an exercise in delegitimizing voting and denying anything to do with reality. Fat Ass 45 traveled to Minden, Nevada, a town about 50 miles south of Reno, for an incoherent, rambling, grievance-filled campaign Klan rally on Saturday. Over the course of the incoherent 90-minute speech, Fat Ass 45 attacked Maryland voting, the Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden, and Nevada Governor Steve Sisolak, while lamenting his press coverage, long drives, and the fact that he was not able to have Air Force One behind him as he spoke. He also once again suggested that he should be allowed to serve more than 2 terms in office, which would be unconstitutional. Notably, absent from his Klan speech was anything approaching a cohesive second-term agenda or a policy platform, because he has nothing to run on. What little policy his Klan speech did contain was delivered suggestively in the context of what the fat ass is against, including limiting fracking and teaching children poisonous anti-American lies in school. Far more of Fat Ass 45's remarks focused on attempts to demean his opponents and preemptively cast doubt on an election that national polls show him trailing in. Fat Ass 45 has spent much of the summer searching for an attack that will stick to Biden, that he's senile, that he's a puppet of the radical left, and that he'll usher in the apocalypse, and all three messages were on display in abundance on Saturday. Biden, Fat Ass 45 claimed on Saturday, is unable, a pathetic human being, and suggested his physical and mental condition are such that he doesn't know he's alive. I think you're describing yourself, Fat Ass, not Biden. The Fat Ass worked to assert Vice Presidential nominee Senator Kamala Harris is the actual driver of Biden's policy, incorrectly calling her to the left of Senator Bernie Sanders, and telling supporters that if Biden were to win, Harris would become president in about a month. Later in the speech, Fat Ass also told supporters that a Biden victory would permanently destroy the lives and dreams of tens of millions of Americans and lead to countless deaths and suicide. I think you're describing yourself again, Fat Ass. It isn't clear that these sort of attacks have changed public opinion. Recent polls indicate most Americans believe Biden is the stronger candidate on public safety, and a new faux news poll that was released on Sunday found more voters see Biden as being being mentally sound than the fat ass. Fat Ass 45 devoted a great deal of time Saturday to going after the legitimacy of the November election, telling supporters that we have a rigged election. It's not a new talking point for Fat Ass 45, who has already mounted a sustained campaign against mail-in voting in the U.S. Postal Service, and who continues to claim that there was widespread voter fraud in the 2016 election when there clearly wasn't. But in an election where as many as 6 in 10 Americans say they plan to vote early, and a historic number of ballots are likely to be cast by mail, such rhetoric takes on a dangerous new dimension. There's a fair chance we won't know who won on election night as ballots are counted. Many states accept ballots postmarked on election day for days forward, and Fat Ass 45 is already sending up a signal that he plans to distribute the results or even prematurely claim victory on election day if early returns show him ahead. The only way we're tied is if they screw around with the ballots, which they will do, in my opinion, Fat Ass 45 said on Saturday. In anticipation of a candidate announcing that they have won before ballots are all counted, Facebook and Twitter have announced new policies prohibiting candidates from claiming victory before election results have been certified. Fat Ass 45 also suggested Saturday that his inbred supporters should turn out as poll watchers, because with you people watching the polls, it's going to be pretty hard to cheat. I'll tell you, I wouldn't want to be a cheater where you already are. This suggestion is concerning. One, however, there is history of GOP poll watchers engaging in voter intimidation, one that led to a since expired federal consent decree curbing such activity, with instances of armed Fat Ass 45 inbred supporters engaging in pseudo law enforcement vigilantism. There's reason for concern that poll watching could lead to further voter intimidation in November. In addition to his attacks on voting, Fat Ass 45 used his Saturday Klan rally to hold forth on the merits of his coronavirus response. He says, "Oh, we're at like 190,000 deaths." He told his inbred Klan rally goers on Saturday, "We've done an incredible job." No, you haven't. In reality, more than 193,000 people have died from the COVID-19 in the U.S., and the U.S. response has been uniquely poor compared to other nations. On Friday alone, the first day in more than 5 months that Canada reported zero COVID-19 deaths, more than 1,000 people in America had died that day. As evidenced by Saturday's unmasked and undistanced crowd, though, the Fat Ass 45 campaign has by and large decided to move on from the coronavirus, even as the U.S. death toll continues to climb. A gathering the size of the Fat Ass's Klan rally flies in the face of virtually every pandemic best practice under the sun, and in fact, Fat Ass 45's event was shunted from the Reno airport to neighboring Minden after Reno officials refused to allow the Klan rally to be held for public health reasons. On Sunday, Fat Ass 45 held another Klan rally there, this time indoors, which is likely even more of a health risk and something the campaign had avoided since criticism of its Tulsa Klan rally. As as um As Vox's Aaron Rupert had wrote after an outdoors 45 Klan rally in North Carolina last week, the Fat Ass's insistence on holding Klan rallies reflects an unwillingness to learn from past mistakes that borders on callousness. The recent batch of Fat Ass 45's Klan rallies were the first since June 20th, when he held one at the BOK Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma, that ended up being a disaster. The Fat Ass 45's campaign decision to ignore warnings from public health experts likely fueled a spike in coronavirus cases in the area. In the past few days, we've seen almost 500 new cases, and we've had several large events just over 2 weeks ago. So I guess we could connect the dots," said Tulsa City County Health Department Director Dr. Bruce Dart. Said days after the Klan rally, according to the Associated Press, Herman Cain, a prominent 45 nutlicker who was photographed at the Klan rally without a mask, contacted the COVID-19 after the Klan rally and died. In short, between spinning a fictional narrative on the pandemic and eroding trust in voting, and as a personal attack on Biden, Fat Ass 45 spent a disparate amount of time Saturday constructing an alternate rally for himself and his inbred supporters. It wasn't a policy speech. It was barely even an election message, but it was pure, unfiltered Fat Ass 45. So if you like the video, give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, Ryan Ben Mike, and also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out, and thanks for listening.